Hi everyone, Dave Bradshaw here, and as we get ever closer to that huge 14-year anniversary of Revolution Pro Wrestling, the biggest show in company history, Saturday, August 29th at the OVO Arena, Wembley. One of the marquee matches that night will be for the Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship, and I'm being joined right now by both the men who will participate in that match, the reigning defending champion El Capitan Leyton Buzzard, and the man who is himself a former champion and now a two-time back-to-back winner of the British J Cup, Nino Bryant. Leyton, we're going to start with you. We are filming this in Southampton. It's a couple of hours after the end of our show, and there was another run-in between the two of you today here in the 1865, during which you had some extremely strong words for your opponent, Nino Bryant, including what I would say was pretty disrespectful to how Nino performed when he was the champion for 6 months in the past year or so. Do you honestly believe, contrary to what almost the whole of the rest of the wrestling world was saying, that Nino Bryant was not a cruiserweight champion that RevPro could be proud of?
Dave Bradshaw, I'll tell you this right now. I believe I am the first person in years to show respect to this championship. I said it earlier on tonight. This isn't about shaking hands, patting each other on the back, telling each other good job. No, this is one of the most prestigious championships in Europe. I gave up everything to be champion. And every day I hold this championship, it is a privilege. Dave, do you think it's a coincidence that the last two biggest shows in RevPro history, the Copper Box Arena, where was this championship? In a throwaway scramble match that no one cared about. In 3 months as champion. And look what happened now. You said it yourself. Now, the Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship is exactly where it needs to be. In a marquee match at the biggest show in Revolution Pro Wrestling history at Wembley Arena. Why, Dave? Because this championship is around my waist.
Well, Nino, I'm going to give you a chance, obviously, to respond to that. But let's talk about more broadly what Leyton Buzzard has meant to the cruiserweight division since his return, and since we've had obviously a real change in demeanour for Leyton Buzzard in recent months. So much of the talk when you were the champion, and it was an incredible title reign, was that Nino Bryant's the future of professional wrestling, certainly the future of the cruiserweight division here in Revolution Pro Wrestling. And I'm sure, being a self-confident young man as you are, that you believed that as well. So with the benefit of hindsight, is it worth saying that maybe in thinking that you'd overlooked what a force El Capitan would be when he entered himself into the cruiserweight division?
First of all, I think it's disgusting that I have to sit here right now after what this man did to me today. I have to sit here and have a formal chat with a man that just tried to end my career, basically. A man that's trying to stop me from getting to Wembley. Look at me, Leyton. Look at me right now. After everything you've put me through, after everything you put my family through, you expect me to just sit here and politely chat to you about who the best cruiserweight is.
Well, that's the difference between me and you, Nino. I carry myself as a professional.
A professional.
A professional. I don't let my emotions get the best of me. I am a champion that this company can be proud of. So yes,
okay.
The reason I'm sitting here in this chair is because I can sit in here and be civilized and have a civilized talk, because that's what it means to be champion. I don't let my emotions get the better of me. No, I am the champion that this company deserves.
Okay. If it's a war of words you want, I can win that one too. I'll answer your question, Dave. First of all, everything you just said today, Leyton, everything you've just listed about this championship and what I've done for it compared to you, deluded, filled with lies, filled with disdain, because your revisionist history is disgusting. Last year, I defended this championship at the anniversary show against Robbie X, the king of the cruiserweights. I came out on top, and I Jushin Thunder Liger raised my hand. Talk about prestige. That's prestige.
And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier on. This is what you so desperately seek, is validation. I don't need validation because I hold this championship. I don't care what Jushin Thunder Liger thinks about me. I don't care what the king of the cruiserweights, Robbie X, thinks about me, because I am the champion. I deserve this, and I know I deserve this. I don't need anyone to tell me that. You want to get serious? You want to talk about a war of words, Nino? Because if it's a war of words, you will lose every single time, because I am a star, and that is something you will never be. You are a great wrestler, Nino Bryant, but a great wrestler is all you will ever be. I am a champion, and the reason I hold this championship is because I am a champion that this company can be proud of. In this ring, on that microphone, and that's the difference between me and you. You want to talk about a war of words? I'll get real with you now, Nino. Yes, you did win the Cruiserweight Championship. Congratulations. But you know one big difference last year?
What's that?
I wasn't here. And I'll tell you this right now. And if you don't believe me, you can go and ask Andy Corden yourself. The only reason you ever won this championship was because Leon Cage got injured and I went to Japan.
All right, listen, let's everyone take a breath for a minute. But I do want to... All right. I do want to pick up on one thing you said, because you've said a couple of times now, Lane, that you're a champion that RevPro can be proud of, a standard bearer, if you will, as the Cruiserweight champion. Do you think that not just your behaviour, but the behaviour of the group you've aligned yourself with, Josh Holley and James Ellis, collectively you're known as Top Tier, has that behaviour and the way that you've gone about winning some of your matches as a group, is that befitting of a champion that RevPro can be proud of?
And what's the difference, Dave? What's the difference between me aligning myself with two of my best friends, two professionals? What's the difference between that and Nino coming out with his two brothers? Because last time I checked, the reason James Ellis has been on the shelf for the last month wasn't because of Top Tier, no. It was because of his delinquent brother that put my friend James Ellis in the hospital. So ask yourself that, Dave. Who's the real problem here? Is it Top Tier? Or is it the Bryants?
Well, if James Ellis genuinely had a broken arm, why wouldn't he allow himself to be checked out by medical staff? We've only got his... He
was checked out by our private physician, and he was not cleared to compete.
You can understand, given the track record of James Ellis and Josh Holley and you, quite honestly, why some fans might be a little bit cynical about the idea that James Ellis indeed does have a broken arm. He came out today in Southampton with a cast, used it as a weapon. And again, that just speaks to what a lot of fans have said repeatedly. I'm just, you can look at me like that, but I'm not the one who's saying it. This is what a lot of fans have been saying, that Top Tier conduct themselves in a way that should disqualify them from being near the top of the card at RevPro.
We are at the top of the card for a reason. And myself, Top Tier, we have brought new life to this championship. It's not a bottom of the card championship anymore. No, this championship means something now, and it means something because of me and because of Top Tier. So we will do everything in our power to make sure this championship never goes back to the likes of you or Joe Lando.
Once again, with the revisionist history, I took that championship from Will Caban, who held it hostage, and I made it what it is right now. I made it what it is in this current era of RevPro. I defended it time after time against some of the best cruiserweights in the world.
And you lost it.
I defended that championship against the man of the hour, Lio Rush. I defended it against Robbie X. We went to Lyon, I defended it in France. I brought that championship back to the top of the card. I brought that championship to the main event. And you sit here saying you did that. I did that. I won the British Shake-Up. I won the championship. I've won the British Shake-Up again, and I'm going to win it again off you and take it back to the top of the card once more.
But all of that aside, Nino, you lost it. And who did you lose it to? Who was it that had Nino Bryant's number? That's right, Joe Lando. And what did you do? You stood up after the match, you looked him in the eyes, and you shook his hand.
Yeah, a champion RevPro can be proud of.
Yeah, well, last time I checked, I beat Joe Lando twice, with ease. And he's got your number.
Took shortcuts every time, didn't you?
So this is wasting my time now. But I'll tell you, Nino, 3 weeks. 3 weeks' time is all you have. And then the Nino Bryant project is over. Because this championship is going to be around my waist for a very long time. And when I beat you at Wembley, you are never going to challenge for this title again, and I will make sure of it.
Listen,
It'll be a short reign if I do win it, though, won't it?
All right, listen. I gave Leyton the first word, so it's only fair I give you the last word, Nino. But in doing so, I do want to bring up one thing that he said. I'm not going to repeat what, I'm not going to endorse him saying that your brother is delinquent in any sense. But we know that Xander has a temper.
Yeah.
And that temper, at times, can run in the family. We've seen how wound up, quite honestly, you've been by listening to the words of Leyton Buzzard here in this interview right now. So how can we be sure that on August 29th, the biggest match of your life, that you are going to be able to keep your emotions in check sufficiently to get the job done against what has been, whether you like it or not, a dominant British Cruiserweight champion?
I've been tested many times since I got here to RevPro. My emotions have been tested. My mettle has been tested. And one thing that stayed constant, it doesn't matter how much fire is in my heart, I get the job done. Because I make it in the big moments when there's gold on the line. Very likely, very often, most likely, most often, Nino Bryant comes out on top. Because I'm a big match player. And Wembley is the biggest match of them all.
All right, I realise this might be a lot to ask, but going into this huge match, could we, since you both believe you're champions RevPro could be proud of, could we have a handshake between champion and challenger? All right.
Not surprised.
Well, in any case, there we have it. Nino Bryant, Leyton Buzzard, challenger and champion in this huge match, Wembley, August 29th, for the undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship.